pretty privilege this, pretty privilege that. Y'all are obsessed with the idea of pretty privilege and yielding your beauty to your advantage. But I would like to offer some perspective. I think that we were a bit hasty in accepting pretty as a privilege, as a truth, as a universal truth, because I don't think that it is. Let me pose to you a question. Is a gun protection? So statistically, they say that a gun being in a home increases the chances of the people in that home being victims of gun violence. So I ask you, is a gun protection? Well, only if you know how to use it. So, and y'all check these statistics. I'm going off the dome. I didn't do research for this video, so y'all use your Googles. Don't just go taking my word for things. Check them out. So I'm asking you again, is pretty a privilege? I think pretty is better described as a tool. And if you understand how to wield the tool of pretty, then it can possibly be an advantage in your life. But in order for that to work, one, you have to understand whether or not you have the type of pretty that can be used to your advantage. And you got to understand the limitations to that advantage, because pretty can only really open certain doors. Not everybody cares if you're pretty. In certain spaces, pretty is not going to help you at all. It might be a deterrent. So understand, where can the tool of pretty be used for your advantage? Also, we have to understand what pretty is. Pretty is it's a social construct, and it can be used as social currency. What is considered pretty is very much political. That's why that Sydney Sweeney ad caused all the ruckus that it did. Pretty is political. Now, beauty, attractiveness, that is something separate. Pretty though, in the way that we're talking about it, pretty is a construct, and what is deemed pretty is ever changing depending on who's in power and what the values are. Hold on, y'all. We are currently in a space and time where Europeans are in power. So pretty, what we consider to be pretty, is influenced by Europeans. We have Eurocentric standards of beauty. So those with closer proximity to Eurocentric features, that is more social currency. So oftentimes pretty is not even a matter really of who is attracted to you, because, okay, for myself, I don't consider, you would not really catch me saying that I have pretty privilege. I benefit from desirability. I'm desirable. A lot of people would deem me beautiful, but I do not think of myself as someone with pretty privilege. I am not close in proximity to Eurocentric features. I'm a thick bitch. I'm dark skinned, broad features, kinky hair. So that is something separate. I'm not saying that I'm not attractive. I'm not saying that I'm not beautiful, but pretty privilege is something else. And a lot of times it's not really even a matter of what people are attracted to. It's a matter of that particular appearance, someone who is considered pretty, that having possession of a pretty woman, having a pretty woman as a wife, a pretty woman as your arm candy, that is social currency. It's a status symbol. That's what I'm looking for. It's a status symbol. So pretty, more than anything, is a status symbol. So again, is pretty a privilege? How far can pretty take you? What doors can pretty open for you? So there's a video I watched a while back by Olay Olurinati. I'll try to tag the video in the description. But there was a video about pretty privilege done by Olay, and she did a beautiful job explaining the concept of what she said was capital P pretty, and she used a lowercase pretty. I'm not gonna get into giving you those definitions because Olay already did that work. She did a beautiful job, and I highly recommend you checking out that video. But yeah, I just want to inspire you to think about things before you just accept them as truth. And to consider that pretty, proximity to Eurocentric standards of beauty, I just want you to consider how that tool may be used, if it's worth it for you to use that tool. And if it's not, there are other tools. I think that y'all get stuck. Y'all get stuck on pretty privilege and can't think past it. Pretty privilege that's one tool in a bag of all types of shit. Get creative. Like, y'all get stuck on that, and it's already limited. I want to ask you this. So the girls who were victimized by Epstein and his whole trafficking ring, those girls were pretty. Was that pretty a privilege to them, or did it make them vulnerable? It was not a privilege to them. It made them vulnerable. It made them hyper visible to predators. So, one, for pretty to even benefit you, you have to first understand that you are, and understand why might people desire you for that prettiness. Why might those people desire that? What do they want to do to you? And can you maneuver in those spaces in a way that is going to benefit you without you getting used the fuck up, without you getting abused? And don't mistake anything that I'm saying. I believe those women the first time. Those women were victims. This is in no way, I don't want y'all to twist any words, because sometimes y'all understanding of things is very limited. So, like, hear what I'm saying. Anyway, I think I've said all I care to on that topic. Maybe later I'll talk about pretty, the social construct of pretty, and being timeless beauty. Timeless beauty is something different to pretty. It's something different to pretty privilege. They can overlap, but they are two different things. But I'll talk about that another time. Until then, bye.